Hey friends, I hope you're ready for a dining room makeover today. We're gonna be covering everything from painting my hutch, getting some new furniture, styling the space for fall, doing a DIY floral arrangement, and more. I'm super excited to create a cozy and warm dining room with you today. So if you're excited, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and let's go ahead and get started. Today's video is in collaboration with some of my sweet YouTube friends. We're all gonna share some type of fall inspiration today, whether that's just a cozy fall day in the life, a decorating video, a cooking video. They will all be fall themed, so you'll get lots of fall inspiration. All of these women share amazing decorating, homemaking, cooking, farm life inspiration, and I know you'll love their channels, so be sure to check out their videos down in the description below after you watch today. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As we begin this dining room makeover, the very first thing I did was paint my buffet and hutch top. Now I got both of these pieces on Facebook Marketplace separately and painted it when I first bought it when we moved into the house, but I was ready for a change, and that is truly the beauty of paint. You can always paint over, you can always change the color, nothing is permanent. And I wanted something a little softer, something with a little more earth tone. So I went with the color Moth Wing by Sherwin-Williams, and it is a beautiful sort of beigey, greigey, muddy color. I have to say, I think that hutches are my favorite pieces of furniture. You can find so many cool ones in antique shops or on Marketplace, and oftentimes they need a little love or a makeover, but it's so worth it to have that collected, curated feel in your home, whether that's displaying your favorite dishes or seasonal decor. You really can't go wrong with a classic hutch. I wanted a bigger color selection when painting this piece, so I went to Sherwin-Williams and sifted through a million beiges and grays and finally settled on this moth wing color, which I love. And I'm just using a basic interior latex paint. It was pretty much the cheapest paint they offered. Because it's a piece of furniture and doesn't get a lot of wear and tear, you can use a cheaper paint. And I didn't even do a top coat. I just slapped on 2 coats of paint and called it good. I went with a flat finish and I really, really like it. Painting furniture is often tedious and time-consuming, but it is a great way to transform a space on a budget. You can completely change the look of a room just with a fresh coat of paint. And I really feel like this Hutch transformation did that to this dining space. It adds a really pretty soft earth tone to this room, and I feel like it's a little softer, a little more subtle, and just more my style. We're gonna bring some of that white from the kitchen into the dining room so that it all flows today, and I'm very excited to redecorate. I love to collect ironstone. It's fun to have something to shop for when you're thrifting or antiquing, finding pieces that match a set and getting all excited. It's like treasure hunting. But if you're not picky about what china or dishware you use in your hutch, you can find tons of white dishware at Goodwill, thrift stores, Home Goods, those kinds of places. You can really get the most bang for your buck. I was super excited. I found 5 ironstone dinner plates that all matched with no chips for $10 at the thrift store the other day. And I already had the bowls to match, so it's definitely a score for me. A simple way that I want to add a touch of fall and a pop of color is adding some farm fresh apples to one of my ironstone bowls. My son and I went apple picking the other day with his kindergarten class, and we got a huge bag of apples. So we still have tons to use up, and it's such a fun way to display just, again, a natural touch of fall with a sweet memory tied to it too. Now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you already saw a little bit of this footage, but the day before decorating this space, I wanted to make a DIY fall arrangement, just something pretty and festive using dried and faux florals so that it would last me all season long. I'm using floral tape here just to make a pattern so that I can display all the pretty stems, and I just wanted to say all of the florals in this arrangement that are faux came from Joann's, and then the rest are different dried hydrangeas from my garden. So I have some limelight hydrangeas in there and some bobo hydrangeas, which give a really soft pinkish red, perfect for fall. Another thing that was on my Instagram a while back, those mums that I placed in the arrangement that are that rust color, they were originally bright orange, and I just painted them with craft paint. So if you happen to have some cheap silk florals lying around and you don't love the color, use craft paint on them because it works really well. I wanted a cozy nook in this corner, so I'm adding this natural wood table that I got at Birch Lane a few years ago to display the floral arrangement, a pretty lamp, which is from Home Goods, and a simple pumpkin. And this little vignette is so pretty. I'm also adding this glass cabinet door that I refinished last spring. If you guys remember, this cabinet door is original to our 1800s historic home. It originally was in the dining room, but we took the cabinets out and I managed to salvage the door to use as wall decor, and I love it. I love that touch of history in our home. There's nothing quite like plaid in the fall months. It's just such a cozy, warm texture and pattern to have in a space. And I felt like this dining room was lacking a little bit of that. So I swapped out my white curtains for these plaid curtains that I recently found at Lowe's. I will have those linked down in the description below, but I love them in this space. They add such a touch of warmth and dimension, and they're really soft and pretty. Adding the last few touches of decor in this space. On this wall, I wanted to display some vintage artwork. That top picture is not really vintage, it's actually from Hobby Lobby, but the bottom piece, I just loved the frame. The frame is such a pretty brass color. And I found this at the antique store the other day. It's such a pretty picture of a mother with her two sons and daughter by a creekside, which I thought was really fitting for our family. And here on this little peg rail shelf, I'm adding some real copper mugs, and then I'm adding just a little basket. This one came from Hobby Lobby, and I'm displaying these pretty berry, I don't know what you call these, berry stems, but I love the touches of yellow and green for fall. Those came from Joann's. I apologize that the lighting is all over the place in this video. It was another gusty day here and the clouds kept coming in and out, and I kept having to change out my lighting on my camera, but that's okay. Now I'm going to just quickly wipe off my table. I had taken a little bit of a lunch break, and I'm just gonna make sure it's all wiped down and clean, and then we can work on the tabletop decor and add my new chairs. I wanted to tie in some of the hydrangeas that I had in the floral arrangement into the centerpiece of my table. So I'm taking a 3-gallon crock that I've thrifted, and I'm adding some already dried hydrangeas to it. I really have been loving the incredible hydrangeas dried. They're such a pretty green color. They give so much life to a space. And if you don't happen to have any hydrangeas near you, none of your friends or relatives or neighbors have some you can cut, I know you can get some on Etsy, so definitely check that out. I used to have bins and bins and bins full of faux pumpkins that I either sold or donated over the last few years because I have come to love real farm fresh pumpkins in my decor for the fall months. They last me all season. I don't have to store them, and they are just so much more beautiful and obviously more lifelike, and they just give that simple, natural look and feel to your space for the fall. So I had a spur of the moment change of heart, and instead of having that little basket that you see on the door, I found one of my old grapevine wreaths that didn't have anything on it, and I went ahead and filled the entire thing with more of the dried hydrangeas. I happen to have an extra crock full. I try to clip as many as I can and dry them for the fall season so that I have lots on hand. And this was so easy and so beautiful. I may end up doing this next year, earlier in the season for my front doors. I might do something with the darker hydrangeas as they turn brown for the winter or Christmas time. I couldn't get over how easy this was. Super pretty and a huge impact. So before you guys see the new dining chairs, I wanted to explain myself just a little bit. If you guys remember, back in the summer, I purchased 4 beautiful ladder back style chairs for $35 on Marketplace. And while I thought that was such a good deal, turns out there was a lot more wear and tear on them than I realized. And 2 of them were starting to unravel, and it was just a mess. My husband said, you know what, we need new chairs. I know you like these chairs, but they're not cutting it. So sometimes you just gotta compromise. And so I sold those chairs, somebody else purchased them, and I bought these new Windsor white chairs, and I'm so happy I did. I love the style of them. They're very clean and simple, and I love that it brings some white into the dining room because my kitchen is very white, very bright, and it just ties it all together. I'm really, really happy with this purchase decision, and hopefully these chairs last us a long time. And now I'm just putting on the last final touches of this space. I'm gonna light a candle, add a sweet little pillow to my wicker chairs, which those are from Wayfair. They go out of stock often, but they always come back in stock, so I'll link them down below. But once I wrap up with that, I'll give you a final look at the space and how it all came together. I'm super pleased with how everything turned out. It's so warm and cozy in here for the fall, and it just goes to show you all it takes sometimes is a fresh coat of paint on something, maybe swapping out some inexpensive curtains, adding a few seasonal touches, and you can completely transform a space to make it homey and cozy and a place your family can enjoy. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that I gave you lots of decorating ideas and inspiration, and I will see you guys very soon in my next one. Bye.